Since I got a new haircut, I wanted to show you guys 3 really cute ways to style a long bob. Whether you are a little bit more fancy or a little bit more casual, here are 3 cute ways starting with a modern texture. So all I have is my Paul Mitchell I think this is like 1 1/2 or 1 1/4 inch flat iron. You just want to make sure the plates on your flat iron have a beveled edge. That way when you go to turn your hair with it, it's not going to leave dents or lines and creases, because we all know that's not pretty. So let's get started. First, I'm going to spray a little bit of working spray through my hair. This is by EVO and this is called Builders Paradise. I'm just going to kind of hold up my hair and spritz it throughout. You really don't need a ton. This is just going to kind of hold it and make sure that our style lasts all day. When I curl my hair, I like to part down from my parting and then just kind of split the back. That way I can bring my hair to each side. It makes it easier because you can burn yourself with this length of hair because you're trying to get these shorter pieces back here, and that's just not good. So I'm going to take a nice size chunk from the bottom and I'm going to clip everything else up and out of my way. Then taking my flat iron, I'm going to be doing some of these curls kind of away from my face and some coming towards my face. I like to break it up and do kind of like every other one a different way. That way when you kind of brush it all out at the end, which you guys will see, it just gives a very beautiful undone look because the texture isn't all the same and it makes for a perfect finish. So I'm going to grab just kind of chunks of my hair, and the first one, like I said, I'm going to start. So I'm going to actually do this one away from my face. So what you're going to do is take your flat iron at the top of your hair and you're going to clamp it down. Let me just show you before I actually do it. You're going to clamp it down and then you're going to turn your flat iron and slowly pull away from your hair. Now what this is going to do is it's going to create a nice little bend in your hair, kind of like how a curling iron would. It just gives you a completely different look with a flat iron. So the more that you turn your flat iron, the more curl you have. The less you turn it, the less curl you have. So I'm going to kind of go for like an in-between medium. So I'm going to place my flat iron, turn it, and then start to pull away from my hair. Now I'm taking kind of bigger chunks, and then all I'm going to do is kind of twist it in the direction that I flat ironed it. So then it's just going to kind of sit. Now like I said, I am not doing a ton of curl in my hair because I want this to be kind of that texturized look. The smaller sections, again, you take the smaller your curls are going to be, just like how much you turn it. So I'm going to put my flat iron in and then twist it away. And I'm going to leave out my ends because I do not want my ends to be curled. I want them to be kind of straight. Okay, so that is what it's kind of going to look like. You can spray your working spray, again, just for a nice little, to make sure that your curls are going to stay. And then we're going to pull down another section and repeat the same steps. Okay, so now that I have one whole side of my hair done, you guys can see what it looks like when you're finished. It's just kind of like barely there texture. It just gives it some movement rather than being completely straight. And I love that the ends are still very texturized. The important thing is to remember is that when you are doing these little curls, that when you actually get done with it, to twist it in the direction that it goes. Because what you're going to do when you're twisting in the direction is you're actually going to be setting your hair. And if you were just to leave it kind of just like down, it wouldn't really give it as much twist. So it's really important when you're done to just twist it and then let it set. So I'm going to actually, I'm not even going to touch this. I'm going to go to this side and let this whole entire side set and cool down. Both sides are done. What I'm going to do next is just take my fingers and break up all of my curls. Basically, all I say is to just kind of like claw through your hair. It's the easiest way to do it and kind of mess it up a little bit. Alright, so this is the finished look. You guys can see it's like the pictures that I showed you. Your hair is not really curled, but it's not really straight. It just has some really cool, kind of modern texture throughout it. And I really like this look, especially for this haircut, because it just kind of shows off those fun ends and all the texture that's throughout the cut. And it's a nice way to do your hair without having to do one or the other. Okay, so this second look is going to be how to get this modernized curl pattern look. It's kind of edgy and fun. It makes me feel a little bit like a lioness. and it just builds a ton of volume with curls, and it's super playful. So let's get on to this way to curl your hair. Okay, so again we're going to start with a working spray to set all of our curls, and I'm using EVO's Builder Paradise, and I'm just going to spray this through my hair. And we're done! Just kidding. Brush it out. And then I'm just going to section both of my sides of my hair off by going from my part line and then just bringing both sides around towards the front. I'm going to do the same thing and just section off a bottom section of hair. Again, I like to work in layers because it keeps me more neat and I don't ever have to worry about not curling some of my hair. For this look, I'm going to be using my Nume 3-in-1. This is, I think, about the medium-sized barrel, so it's about an inch. If I can find the exact measurements, millimeters, I'll list it down below in the description box. So all I'm going to do is kind of just start by taking about, I don't know, maybe 1 inch by 1 inch sections, depending on how thick your hair is. I have medium to thick hair, so I'm going to be taking about sections about this wide. I'm going to be placing the rod going vertical, so it's going to be going down. Be careful, you will burn yourself if you have shorter hair like me. So all you're going to do is wrap and hold your strand while you're wrapping around, and then twist it. And I'm going to be leaving about 2 to 3 inches of my ends out. And you're just going to let it go very carefully, that way you don't burn yourself. And then let that sit. Then we're going to do another section. Now you can go either all away from your face, all towards your face, or different directions. Totally depends on what you want to do. I typically like to do both directions, again, because it makes my hair more tousled and more messy looking. So those are what my little strands are going to look like. I will pull down another section. So your curls should look something like this. I'm going to continue to go up my head. Now I am doing different directions, but I'm keeping the ones right in the front going away from my face just because that's the way that I like it to look. So I'm just going to curl it the rest of the way. So if someone is gardening outside, I hope it's not going to be too loud, but you know what, that's what happens when you film YouTube videos. Alright, so I have curled all the rest of my hair, and it is going to leave you with a beautiful product like this. You want to let it set for just a second so that when you touch it, it's not warm to the touch, because it is still setting when it is warm. So now that everything is cool, we're just going to take our phalanges and we are going to break up all of our curls. Alright, so this is the finished look. It's just a really fun, modern way to curl your long bob. So this next look is going to be this super cute vintage hairstyle, probably one of my favorites. It's not something that I'm going to wear every day, but it is definitely something fun to dress up your look if you're going out or if you have a date or anything like that. It's just super cute. So let me show you how to style this next hairstyle. Once again, we're going to prep our hair with a working spray. For this look, because it's a little bit more vintage, I'm going to be doing a kind of side part, section it in half, like all of our other hairstyles, because I like to work on one side first, then the other. Starting from the bottom, once again, we're just going to clip up the rest of our hair on top of our head. Now, because this look is a little bit more classic, we're going to be using pin curl clips to assist in making our really beautiful, vintage-inspired, modern, still modern hair. So we're going to be using these pin curl clips. You can find these at any Sally's or hair supply place. They're just really useful for clipping up your hair so that it sets in place. I'm going to be using my Paul Mitchell 1-inch curling iron. This is a super awesome turnstile curling iron. It's a little bit different than traditional ones, but a traditional clamp iron or even a wand can work for this look. It's going to give you a little bit of varied results. So all I'm going to do is take an average size section, pull it out, and I'm going to curl it just like you would curl a traditional curl. So I'm just going to put it in the tong, then twist it around my hair, all the way from the roots to the ends, and let it sit until it gets warm. Once the curl's warm, I'm just going to release it. Let me put down my curling iron, and then I'm going to gather this entire curl up so that it stays in its little curl form, and then I'm just going to wind it up and sit it at the base of the root. Then using one of the little pin curl clips, I'm just going to pin it to my head. Like so. And I'm going to be doing this all away from my face, going the same direction. you do it different directions, it's not going to work out right, so just keep it going all away from your face. I'm going to go through and do this all to the rest of your hair. Okay, so here is what it's going to look like. You're going to have nice granny hair. If you do not have pin curl clips, you can always use bobby pins if you need to. It's no problem. So now I'm going to curl this side of my hair. So my camera decided not to record the part where I said allow all of your curls to set and cool to the touch when they're in the little pin curl clips. And then you can take them down and remove all of them once they are nice and cool. Then do a little once over with some working spray. And now we're going to grab a white tooth comb and do the finishing product so we don't feel like a poodle anymore. So starting from the underneath of your curls, you're just going to pull up kind of like your top ones and start to brush out the bottom. Make sure that you're using a white tooth comb. It will make a very big difference in what it turns out in the end. So I'm just going to softly comb through my hair. The good thing about using a working spray is that you can actually break through your curls without ripping your hair out, because you definitely don't want to be doing that. How cute is this? I love it. It's like this super cute, like fun little vintage hairstyle. So let's do it to the other side. And then I'm going to grab a nice finishing hairspray. This is L'Oreal's number 3 Infinium. It is a super strong holding spray. So all I'm going to do is give it a once over. And now I have this really cute kind of vintage retro inspired hair. If you want to make it even cuter, grab a fun decorative clip like this. And then on the side that you have the least amount of hair, so the side where your part is, on the really deep heavy part, you're just going to brush your hair back behind your ear and then softly just kind of comb this back. Take your clip and put your clip right behind your ear. And voila! Isn't it so cute? I love this. I feel like I want to wear this every day.